there, y'all. It's the week after we had our meeting at church, and I've got some leftovers in the fridge that I want to use. Over here I've got just a little bit, we've been munching on it, having some taco salad. So just a little bit of taco meat with some rice, and this is a leftover bowl of lettuce that I took. And this is some meat that I cooked, where I cooked 2 pounds up, and then this was what was left of it. So it doesn't have any taco seasoning on it. So I'm gonna make like a casserole kind of thing. And so that's the leftovers I'm using. I have cut like a quarter of a block of both of these Colby and pepper jack cheeses to essentially make half a block of cheese up in here. And I'm gonna use some crescent rolls. I got 2 things of crescent rolls the last time I went grocery shopping because they were out of biscuits. So we were gonna have like biscuits and gravy one day. So I got 2 things to have gravy with crescent rolls, pretty much. That's what Justin decided. And so this is one of those that I'm gonna use. And I'm gonna layer that on the bottom, and to spruce up the meat and stuff to make it more of a more filling meal, we're gonna put some corn in it, some refried beans, and some Aldi brand Rotel. I'm gonna add another pack of taco seasoning to this meat since it doesn't have any seasoning on it, and then of course an onion for some flavor. So, and then on the very top, I'm gonna top it with, this is my all-time favorite ever salsa from the Walmart. It's very yummy. You get it in like the produce section, not the salsa chips and salsa dip aisle, but it's in the produce section. So super good because it's cold when you buy it. And I'm gonna put that on top. So let's throw this together. First I need to see how hot does the oven need to be. It needs to be at 375. Oop. All right, let's get that preheated and get this started. Now here I'm going to just lightly spray these pans so nothing sticks, and I'm going to do 1 pan for the pan with the crescent rolls for everybody, and then I just get my own little pan here as usual, but it'll be okay. It turns out really good. I decided to pinch these together here just real quick because I wanted the bottom of the pan to be completely covered. So I just rolled these out. I didn't pull them apart. I just pinched them together until I made a solid crust against the bottom of the pan so nothing would seep out of it. Now I'll put this sauce on here and then top it with cheese. My pan doesn't have the crescent rolls on it, obviously, so it doesn't need like 10 minutes to bake. Really, it just needs to, and it's already hot. So really the cheese just needs to melt and the salsa needs to warm up. So I will not keep it in the oven near as long.
I'm going to pull these out of the oven, and at this point, I'm going to turn the oven off and just set mine in there to get the cheese melted. But I did pull the foil off and realized that 10 minutes was not quite long enough for the crescent roll, so I'm going to pop this back in for a little bit until we get it nice and brown. While we're waiting on that, why not put some dishes up and start to load the dishwasher for later? Save me some work later after supper, save the kiddos some work later after supper, and keep me busy.
Okay, I just pulled these out. I did have to put that back in. 10 minutes wasn't long enough, and I wanted it to be brown around the edges. So, pull that out. Mine just really needed the cheese melted, so I just put that back in there for a little bit. But, so what I would do at this point is, if we were going to eat the whole pan, if I were serving a lot of people, I don't think Emmy and Justin will eat this whole pan tonight. So, I would spread sour cream over the top, and then I would put lettuce on top of that. If I had some tomatoes, I'd probably put tomatoes on top of it too. But since we're not going to eat the whole pan tonight, I'm just going to slice it out, scoop out what I'm feeding them tonight, and then put sour cream and some lettuce on top of their bowls. And then mine, I'm just going to put sour cream and lettuce on top of in my bowl as well. All right, here's Justin and Emmy's plate. You think I could pass that off? If I put more lettuce on it, I could just make it look like a salad. Fool somebody. Eat the salad! Anyway, Emmy's going to have some chips and salsa with hers because the girl would live off chips and salsa if I'd let her.
Good morning, folks. We are going to put a turkey breast in the crock pot this morning, and we're going to eat it like kind of like Thanksgiving dinner tonight, and then my plan is for the leftovers is going to make turkey salad for Easter. So this is a 9.5 pound turkey breast. I got it for free with I bought our last Thanksgiving. We used Justin's for Thanksgiving, my sister's for Christmas, and we're going to use this one now. So, we're going to get this baby open. Okay, I've already done this side. I just grab a little piece of this skin and I pull it up a little bit and I kind of cut. You want it to still be attached, but I'm going to put some butter up in here, so I'll flip it over and do the other side. See, this one's not cut or anything, so you just kind of, this is how I make the turkey every year at Christmas and Thanksgiving. So you try not to cut the meat there. You don't want to cut the meat. You just want to make some space in here so you can put some butter. Get a little atherosclerosis up in here. There we go. All right, so I had this kind of a stick of butter in the fridge, so I just cut it up and I'm gonna shove it in here. Anything that's left we can put over the top of it, because you don't want to touch this bird and then put the butter back in the fridge after you touch the butter. You can kind of squish it up in there. I didn't quite get my skin open as much as I should have. Maybe I should open this side some more.
All right. Now, I have to put it in my crock pot upside down because it's too big to put in the other way. My lid won't close. My lid barely closes anyway, so this one's almost a little bit too big for this crock pot that I have. But first we're gonna mix up our gravy. Okay, we're gonna take the gravy that came in the turkey. I'm gonna wash my hands now. So I've got some cream of mushroom, some brown gravy mix, and I put a little seasoning in it, and some onion powder. And I've got 2 cans of cream of mushroom, just in case I feel like I need more than that. All right, I put that water in there because this calls for 1 cup of cold water. All right, I'm gonna put just a little bit of gravy in the bottom of the pan. Enough to cover it. Make sure you make a big old mess. It won't taste as good if you don't. Now, like I said, I have to put this in my crock pot upside down. This is usually how I have to do it because they're too big to put the other way. I'm just gonna pour this over the top. Okay, I've got a little bit of butter left, and like I said, since I touched the turkey and then I touched some of this butter, I don't want to put any of it back in the fridge, so I'm gonna just drop some in there somewhere. Now I want to show you guys. See, this is way too tall. See how there's like too much space for my crock pot lid? So this will shrink down, and eventually my lid will fit on it. But in the meantime, I am working from home today, so I will be able to check on this. So, in the meantime, I'm gonna, what should I do? I'm gonna put some foil over it. Now I'll have to go both ways, I think. Alright, let's try this. I'm going to scrunch it around really good, or try to. Set the lid on it best I can for now. And then we're going to let it go. I'm going to put it on low for 10 hours is what I'm going to set it at. And we'll see where it's at when it's 6:30 in the morning exactly right now. So I think 10 hours will be perfect. Emmy's got an after school thing today. So when we get home, dinner will be ready. is the first time this has been opened since I talked to y'all this morning. So, it's the big reveal. Smells like a turkey. Looks like a turkey. Okay, so the only problem with cooking a turkey like this that I found is whenever I go to pick it up, it obviously just falls right apart. So it usually takes 2 people to get this out of the crock pot. See that? It just falls right off of there. So, how am I gonna get this over here?
Would you like for me to do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll swap you.
Okay.
Let's see how big of a mess I can make.
I'll be the cameraman. Camera wall man.
Whoa, man.
It's gonna fall apart.
I'm gonna
I
break
promise
the
you.
spoon.
It takes your mom and I both to get it out of the crock pot every Thanksgiving and Christmas.
We're struggling with this way too hard.
Hang on. Just a second. Time out.
Ready?
How many people does it take to get a turkey out of a crock pot?
I don't know about this. Oh, it's gonna come in sections.
Happens every time. Let me get this bone right here. Go ahead. So you gotta be really careful when you cook it like this. And you gotta pick them bones out.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to do, break it.
There you go.
Get that other bone. Shadow, you can't have any of this.
Nope. Yummy! Oh, we're fogging up my glasses.
It's okay. Alright, we'll pick up the rest of that.
Yep. So what I do to salvage the gravy is I run it through a super tiny strainer. And there's our turkey breast. Alright, I wanted to tell y'all that I'm not using the gravy out of this one because actually what I'm doing is I am going to shred this up and let it cool, and then I'm going to make a turkey salad. And we're going to have turkey salad sandwiches. We always have like a picnic for Easter, you know, and then the Easter egg hunt and stuff. So I'm just making some turkey salad sandwiches out of this. And essentially it'll be just like, you know, having leftover turkey from from Thanksgiving or Christmas and making some turkey salad out of it. But I have been cooking it like this for years, and I should really think of a way to go about this so I don't have to pick through all these bones, because, you know, I don't want nobody to choke on a bone. But so far, it works. Ah! I need a spoon. I need a spoon that's got strainers in it. There we go. Let's try this. Ah! So I'm just going to leave these bones in here, and then Justin can go take it all out in a little bit. But I'm going to pick through and get all this meat out of here best I can before we let that happen. So we don't want no meat to go to waste. All right. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. Oh, there we go. So at the holidays, you know, I don't cook a huge turkey because a large turkey breast does us just fine. And also, cooking it in the crock pot like this frees up your oven for other things. Of course, I have so many crock pots. I could cook just about everything in my crock pots. But someone who uses the oven a lot, if you cook your turkey like this, it frees up your oven. Well, that's probably about all, folks. Y'all can see what I'm doing. You probably don't want to watch me sit here and sift through this. Okay. Oh, I guess... Oh, no, it's off. I was going to say, I guess we could turn it off. Well, that's about all, folks. I'm just going to shred this up and let her cool. Okay. Y'all, can y'all see?
I want you to know I traded spots with the Crockpot right here, and I did not knock this pan off onto the floor. I just want everybody to know that I did that successfully.
She's lying.
I am not lying. You just sit over there, shush. I thought I was gonna knock it off on the floor, but I did not. All right, so how should I do this? Now, if I had this in a bowl, a big bowl, I would take my mixer and, but I don't have it in a big bowl. So, let's try the old fork method. All right, let's just leave this right here and let it cool for a little while before we go to bed, and then we'll put it up in the fridge. Hey y'all, it's dinner time. I'm gonna get dinner going. Emmy's been home with the fever all day, so we're not gonna go to church this evening. So I'm just gonna make some dinner using leftovers. So this is obviously the turkey that I cooked last night, and I took out 2 packs of brown gravy. Now I'm wishing I would have saved some of that gravy, but that's okay, we'll just make some more gravy. We've got some potatoes. I'm gonna make some mashed potatoes. I'm gonna use up some of these last bit of carrots, maybe use some of these. I'm gonna make some candied carrots with brown sugar. And we had this leftover broccoli rice from church last week. I have thawed some broccoli florets. I'm gonna cut those up really fine and put these in a pot. And I'll add a can of cream of mushroom and top it with cheese. I would normally bake this in the oven, but I think I'm just gonna do it stovetop and put some onions in it. And then Emmy will be like, Mom, I don't like that. But anyway, we got some leftovers to use up anyway. So this is some leftover hamburger mac that we made. There's quite a bit left in the bowl. So that needs to be ate up. So she'll eat some of that and some of the other stuff too. But let's get started. Okay, I've got our potatoes and our carrots going on the back burners, and I am just going to find me a spoon in the dishwasher. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get this rice going. I'm just gonna put it all in here. And let's turn the burner on. Put our cream and mushroom in here. I'm gonna put some milk in here so it can be like stirrable. Stirrable word. It is now. Let me see, this might be better. I switched spoons. That other one's flimsy, and I don't like it. I say that every time I use that white spoon. That this sucker's flimsy, and I don't want to use it anymore. And then what I do, I use the white spoon. Every time. Now, if I were cooking this for like a meal with guests, I would put another can of cream of mushroom in it because it's kind of thick. But
I'm not cooking it for a meal with guests. I'm just cooking it for us, and this will be just fine. I'm just gonna sprinkle some cheese over the top of this. This is about a quarter block of cheese. Put the lid on. Turn off the burner. I'll probably actually set this over here. And our carrots and our potatoes are just a cruising over here. Okay, I've got my potatoes all done here. I'm just gonna put some butter in. Where's my spoon? Here it is. Just gonna put some butter in. Oh, I think I bumped y'all. That's probably enough butter for that little bit amount of potatoes. Although Justin would say, you can never have too much butter. I'm gonna melt that around in there. I'm just gonna season it with some nature seasons. There we go. And put a little bit of milk. Not a whole lot. Let's see if this masher will fit in this bowl. All right. That didn't take much, did it? And there's our potatoes. I'm gonna set these off to the side and let them hang out while we get the turkey ready, and our carrots are still cooking. They take a little bit longer. I forgot I was gonna put these green onions in here with the potatoes. They'll be so good. That's why Amy was like, Mom, I don't like it. You eat what I fix, kid. You eat what I fix. Just kidding. She's gonna have that leftover hamburger mac or whatever it was. Yeah, hamburger mac. I love green onions in my mashed potatoes. I'm gonna try to get me a smaller tripod thingy to put over here so you guys can see from this angle, so you're not like staring at my arm all the time. I would think those exist. I don't know. I'll have Justin look. Anyway, got those good and mixed up in there. Oh, it smells good. Now we'll let them sit and move on. My carrots are done and I have drained them. I'm just gonna put some butter on them. That's probably way too much butter as well. So I'm gonna melt this butter. And some brown sugar. Ooh, I don't know if I want that big of a chunk. Sure, let's just go with that. I keep my brown sugar in a baggie like this, just on my baking shelf in my pantry, and it seems to stay soft for me. I say that as it like hits this, but it's all soft. Alright, I still got my burner on, so I'm gonna let these heat a little bit. Can you see what I'm doing? Probably not. There we go. Still gonna let this get all kind of candied, I guess is what would be the word for it. Caramelized, candied. I just cooked those until they were fork tender, and I had to literally take a fork to check and see. Now let's do some gravy. I'm heating my potatoes up in the microwave, and let's see if I can get you guys any closer, baby. This is what this is gonna look like. This is the first time I'm taking the lid off since I put the cheese on. Yummy! I'm just gonna heat this back up. I'm gonna give it a good stir. I'm heating the potatoes back up in the microwave like I said. Everything else is pretty warm. I've got the kids' bowls warmed up. We had some unexpected folks for supper. So, what do you do when you have unexpected folks for supper? 1, you offer them to eat supper with you. But 2, you break out the bread. Why? Because bread is cheap and it goes far. So now, we can have turkey, open-faced turkey, I guess is what you'd call it, instead of open-faced roast beef, over bread. Yeah. So, because there's not very many potatoes to go around, I'm just trying to use up what we had left. That's what we're gonna do. Look at all that cheesy goodness. Just gonna let that get warm again real good. Well, did you see that? All right, here's my plate. I feel it kind of full, but that's all right. I'm hungry. And here's the kids' mac and cheese, hamburger mac. Nope, my fancy Tupperware. It's one of a kind, y'all. It's one of a kind. Starving. Gonna get this in my belly.